Welcome to the Caddo Convos, the podcast that explores the vibrant community of businesses thriving in Caddo Office Reimagined. We're here to shine a light on the incredible entrepreneurs and professionals who make the most of our private offices, co-working spaces, and day office rentals in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. Join us as we share their stories, celebrate their successes, and dive into the benefits of working in a space that's close to home but offers so much more than working from home. Let's get started with today's conversation. So today on Caddo Convos, we have Tracie Owens. Tracie, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
So tell us about your nonprofit. What is it and what do you do?
We are a group of counselors that provide counseling and neurofeedback for individuals mostly on the autism spectrum. We do also provide services for those with anxiety, depression, ADHD, but about 60% of our clients are either level 1 or level 2 autism.
Interesting. Tell me about how you came up with your name.
I can't even remember now. It's been a lot of years. Our original name was the Asperger Shop, which didn't fully encompass, everybody that we saw. So we expanded to Center for Neuro Performance and Counseling, neuroperformance, because that involves neurofeedback, biofeedback, just helping your brain function better, and counseling, because that's something that we do specifically.
Tell me about your I don't want to say typical, but your average, I'd say client or people that you help. Well, give me some examples.
Well, with those that are on the autism spectrum, not all of them, but many of them are between the ages of 15 to 30. And they're having a difficulty either staying employed or getting employed. And the number of people that can remain gainfully employed and have a disability is very low, about 35%, I believe it is. It's a challenge, and they want to work. They want to be as independent as they can be able to pay their own bills, buy their own stuff, just like everybody else. And sometimes they have difficulties due to the impact of the social, interactions with others, being misunderstood, or other things related to autism.
Is there a geographic area that you serve?
Denton County.
Okay.
We will, if somebody wants to drive from, outside of Denton County, but in general, Denton County.
And now talk to me about the engagement. Like, they found you, I imagine, through a referral, through your website?
Yes. We do find people from our website because we specifically, target people for, with autism. We have special programs for them. Yeah. But we also get people from the university. Sometimes we'll refer people to us, other therapists who figure out that their client is on the spectrum and hasn't been diagnosed previously. They might send them to us. Texas Workforce will also refer people to us as well.
Yeah, interesting. And so once they've been referred to you, how do they start with you?
Well, it depends on their needs. Every individual is unique.
You bet.
Not everybody needs the same thing. So the thing that makes us different than other counselors is, one, we focus a lot on autism. All of the therapists that work at the CNC have personal experience, either a family member or significant amount of work working with individuals on the autism spectrum. Second, we provide neurofeedback and biofeedback, which is a different way of helping people address the issues that they're experiencing instead of or with medication. We don't prescribe medication. We're not medical doctors, but we will refer people out if we think that would be beneficial to them to look into. Some people don't want to do medication, and medication is short term. It only works as long as you take it. Neurofeedback and biofeedback are skills that you can learn that last a lifetime. Your brain actually learns new patterns, and they've done a lot of research over a long period of time so that they know that neurofeedback effects last over 20 years. So medication, as soon as you stop taking it, the effects dwindle. So an individual who is on the autism spectrum, perhaps they have a lot of dysregulation going on in their frontal lobe, where you have impulse control or poor emotional regulation. Not only do we help them with counseling, but we also would do neurofeedback, which can help those neural pathways improve their performance. And we've had a lot of success. I had a client last week send me an email from 5 years ago, and they told me how wonderful they were doing now and what an impact the services had made for them. Wonderful. And they've got a job and a partner, and they're living on their own and they're doing well. So I think there's a lot of stories like that. Everybody's experience is different, some greater than others, but that's meaningful to us.
Define neurofeedback. What is that process? What is it?
It's a way of retraining the neural pathways in your brain. So it's a very simple process. You just put some sensors on their scalp, and we have programmed into the computer what we want more or less of based on the assessments that we did with them. And they watch a screen, and the screen, they can have, whatever their favorite show is on, and it goes brighter when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, a reward, and darker when they're not. So of course they try to keep it brighter, which strengthens the neural pathway that we're trying to train.
Fantastic. And then so biofeedback.
Mm-hmm. Biofeedback. Honestly, neurofeedback is a form of biofeedback, but biofeedback, when we talk about it at the CNC, is heart rate variability training, or HRV for short. And a lot of individuals on the autism spectrum, and of course those with anxiety, have difficulty regulating their body, so their autonomic nervous system, so that fight or flight or freeze response. And we teach them a certain way to breathe, and they're hooked up to the computer. They can see what their pattern is, and if it's not optimal, then they make changes while they're doing it to retrain themselves to breathe a certain way so that their body is more calm. So yeah, there's a lot of different forms of biofeedback, but that's the one that we use at the CNC and neurofeedback.
Talk to me about the compensation model. What do they need to be prepared for? Is it covered by insurance, or?
No, well, it depends.
Okay.
So if they're a Texas Workforce individual, they're sent over by them, and Texas Workforce pays us to see them. If they have insurance, we'll use insurance for counseling. Sometimes we'll do neurofeedback or biofeedback during a counseling session. And if they're not able to, or they don't have insurance and they're unable to pay, we have the ability to do sliding scale in some pro bono. And we're really excited to be able to do that for people.
That's wonderful. Tell me about your journey to get to where you are. What inspired you to help people in the way you do?
I've had family members on the spectrum, and it was 2010 when we formed the nonprofit. But even before that, I had already been holding a social meetup group for individuals on the spectrum to help with that social interaction difficulty that many of them had. Yeah. And I would do that once a month with a group of others. And then later formed in 2010 the actual nonprofit to legitimize it and be able to give it more funds and more functioning that we could do. But like I said, everybody at the CNC has either a family member or close friend that participates or that is on the spectrum.
Yeah. So it's personal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the ability to help others is personal,
right?
Among other things, and you're using your skills to do so.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrific. Why did CNC choose Caddo?
Well, we were at another location for 3 years, and 4 years, and we found them very unflexible with our needs, and we're a nonprofit, so we're always, if we needed to change what we were doing, we needed to not have to wait 3 years to get out of a lease. Yeah. So I do like that flexibility with Caddo, though I see we've been here over 2 years now, and I'm not planning on going anywhere. I really enjoy it. The other reason we chose Caddo more than anything else was for that social meetup that we do have. We want to be able to go to the other Caddo facilities and start offering those meetups in those areas too, so that we can facilitate meetups in Plano or in Dallas or wherever they are. And Caddo has that.
9 locations.
Yes,
Yeah,
they have that for us. So that was one of the main reasons. It's a lovely building, and all of our clients enjoy it.
That's terrific. So can you tell me a success story, someone that came to the program and now they're out succeeding, doing well for themselves?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a couple of them.
I'm sure.
One of them that was rather traumatic was an individual who came to us a couple of years ago, and they were about to lose their job. And they did actually lose their job because they were frozen and unable to really function around other individuals. They had a lot of trauma, they needed a lot of counseling, and they also did a significant amount of neurofeedback. And now they are reemployed. It's almost 2 years where they are, and they're doing quite well. So they still have more to go through.
Sure, we all do,
in
a way.
Yeah. And then there's the one I mentioned earlier that 5 years later, they let us know, right? Out of the blue, it came. So that was so meaningful as well.
I imagine for the whole team, rewarding.
Yes.
To hear that. How do they contact you?
cncflowermound.org is there's a way to contact us through there. And then also they can call our number at 214-286-6018.
You mentioned, I imagine it's annually, you participate in different events around your community. One just happened recently. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. Well, we just participated in the 100 Women of Flower Mound. Let me get that right. We just spoke at the 100 Women That Care of Flower Mound event. They hold a fundraiser or event for nonprofits, and you go and speak and talk about your nonprofit and what you would like to use the money that they are offering for. And they awarded us a $10,000 donation. Thank you, so that we could help probably more than 10 individuals with neurofeedback and counseling over the next year. So we're really excited about that.
What do the next 5 years look like for CNC? You have goals, and where are you headed, and how can you help? Those types of things.
We're looking forward to having another full-time therapist. Right now, most of the therapists are all part-time because we're a nonprofit. Oh. So they all have to have jobs that pay them more money.
Of course. Yeah.
But we want another full-time therapist who is also trained in neurofeedback. And we have someone who is going through the training right now. So that would be our next goal, to have that. And then to probably put our work videos that are geared towards counseling, social skills training for individuals on the autism spectrum who are having difficulty with, communications at work. We'd like to put those on YouTube.
Yeah, to help a broader community.
Yes.
Meet them where they are at.
Yes.
They're at. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where they consume media as it is. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you. I really appreciate what you do, and really glad to be a part of the Caddo community with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us today on the Caddo Convos podcast. A huge shout out to our incredible network of members for making our community vibrant and supportive. If you're looking to boost your productivity and reduce the isolation of working from home, consider joining us at Caddo Office Reimagine. Our spaces are designed to meet your evolving needs, support remote work, and foster a sense of community that's hard to find at home. Whether you're a startup aiming for growth, a freelancer seeking a professional setting, or a company looking to optimize resources, Caddo offers a perfect blend of flexibility and innovation. By joining us, you'll be a part of a dynamic business ecosystem that helps you thrive. For more information, visit caddooffices.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Caddo Convos.